Well, good morning. It's 6:46 on this Wednesday morning. I'm Nick Wilson.
I'm Avi Hannon.
And I'm Maggie Warren.
And how about that forecast? We had that wind howling pretty hard earlier.
Yeah, not so bad now, but still rather breezy. We'll see those temperatures chilly through the day today, upper 30s and low 40s, mid 40s and upper and low 50s by the time we hit the afternoon hours. Now, much quieter weather here than down in the tropics, though. We do see down in the Caribbean, out towards Cuba is where Hurricane Melissa is continuing to churn. That has weakened, though, into a Category 3 at last update. It hit Jamaica as a Category 5, a catastrophic Category 5 at that, but continuing to weaken and forecast to track back out over the Atlantic through Friday and weaken into just a tropical storm. But unfortunately, a heavy impact down in Jamaica yesterday and into this morning now, continuing to impact Cuba. But I'll have another check of your forecast here locally at some quieter weather coming up. Nick and Avia.
Well, the government shutdown drags on for another day.
And President Donald Trump addressed some of the concerns surrounding food assistance overnight during a visit to South Korea. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has the latest.
Overnight, President Trump vowing to find a solution to help fund the federal nutrition program, SNAP.
We're going to get it done.
More than 24 states and Washington, D.C. have now sued the administration after it said it could not legally extend SNAP benefits during the shutdown. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are scrambling to fund the program before it lapses this weekend. 42 million people rely on the program to feed their families.
I'm angry. I'm angry that the politicians that make the decisions don't care. They can just go on vacation, go on recess, and not worry about what's happening to their constituents.
Air traffic controllers missing their first full paycheck, but still required to work, some up to 6 days a week. Their pay stubs, like this one, reading 0. The shutdown marching forward as Democrats remain dug in on their demand that health care tax credits be extended to prevent premiums from skyrocketing. In a break with her party, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene is accusing Republicans of not having a plan to tackle health care costs. House Speaker Mike Johnson says Republicans are willing to negotiate, but only after Democrats agreed to reopen the government.
We're on the precipice of a historic crisis, and Republicans don't even want to talk to us about fixing it. And Trump, where's he? Not even in the U.S.
President Trump is negotiating trade deals in Asia, but back in D.C., it's the president's construction plans that are making headlines. The White House saying it's now fired all 6 members of a commission that was set to review plans for the White House ballroom, as well as plans for a new ark that will serve as a national monument. A White House official saying, "We are prepared to appoint a new slate of members to the commission that are more aligned with President Trump's America First policies." And back to the government shutdown. A federal judge has once again blocked the Trump administration from firing federal workers during the shutdown. The Justice Department is expected to appeal. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Well, in the meantime, if you're concerned for your neighbors who rely on SNAP to keep food on the table, there are ways you can help out. Food pantries across the country are preparing for an influx of people seeking assistance if SNAP benefits run out this week. Feeding South Dakota says one way everyday people can help is by organizing a food drive.
Anyone can host a food drive. It doesn't matter if you're at a school or at a church or your place of work. It's really easy. We've got a toolkit online.
You can also make a donation directly to a food bank or pantry. Some of the items that are most helpful include things like dry pasta, canned pasta, mac and cheese, rice or potato sides, canned meats, and other boxed meals and cereal. It's also a great idea to reach out directly to a food pantry and ask what they need right now.
Ask, hey, can we donate money? Can we donate canned goods, dry goods? How do I go about doing that? And I would say majority of the people will be more than happy to, help people navigate how to best give.
If you cannot afford to donate right now, another great way to help out is by volunteering. Oftentimes, you can make a difference simply by offering an extra set of helping hands.
A new art exhibit coming to Sioux City is centered around the border between the U.S. and Mexico. The Borderlands Photography Collection opens at the Sioux City Art Center tomorrow. The photographer has been working along the border since 2016 and aims to show the area is more than just a wall. Art Center curator Christopher Atkins says the exhibit takes a more personal approach to a politically charged subject.
We all know it's a hot button topic. We all know it's front and center in the news. But Javier really wants people to sort of see it on their own terms. See it outside of the news coverage. See it from someone who is an artist, but someone who really wants to kind of capture both sides of the area.
The exhibit opens tomorrow at 5 p.m. with a reception that's free and open to the public. The exhibit will remain on display until March.
Now it's time to meet today's Stray of the Day, and it's Still Waiting Wednesday.
Every Wednesday, we feature a pet at Sioux City Animal Adoption and Rescue who's been waiting quite some time to find a forever home.
That's right, and this is Rudy, a 10-year-old male, front declawed, short hair brown tabby cat. He was found on the 2500 block of Washington Avenue, and the rescue says he has a microchip, but his former owner was contacted, but they no longer want him. He may be an old guy, but he's still super friendly and sweet. He's been at the shelter for more than a month, and he just wants to find a forever home. Rudy is available for adoption now.
And if you lost your pet, you're looking to adopt, or you would like to sponsor a pet for adoption, you can visit the rescue's website. Head over to SiouxCityAnimalRescue.com. Well, Rudy sure looks like a nice little cat. Sure hope he can find that forever home.
Absolutely. I know a lot of people typically go for the younger animals, but I have to say there's something with those older animals. They're just so sweet.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And I'm sure someone would love a little cuddle buddy today, especially as it's going to be rather chilly and windy once again. We started with a very cold morning. Those wind advisories now expired across all of the area. For the most part, we do see calmer winds, but still rather breezy. A look on the Ho-Chunk Center camera, a quiet morning. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s, 43 in Sioux City, mid-40s there in Denison, at 35 in Yankton and Bloomfield, and upper 30s through Wayne and Norfolk. We continue to see those winds out of the north at 10 to 20 miles an hour, and that's those sustained winds, 18 in Sioux City, 11 in Lamars, 21 in Cherokee, and 23 out in Storm Lake. Gusts as high as 30 there in Storm Lake, 28 in Denison, and even 34 miles an hour in Tekamah. Another one above 30 in Spencer at 32 miles an hour. It's dropping those wind chills into the 20s and 30s, as cold as 26 in Yankton, 35 in Sioux City, 37 there in Denison, and 32 up to our north. Continuing to see those showers off to our east now. Those cleared the region, and we continue to see clearing conditions through our Wednesday. Looking at those clouds to thin out through the afternoon and night. Seeing some more passing clouds through our Thursday morning and into early Thursday afternoon. As a cold front passes through, we do see more clearing conditions, but a few more passing clouds as well. But overall, partly cloudy to mostly sunny for our Thursday and into Friday. For today, 51 degrees, decreasing clouds, windy and chilly. Those northerly winds 10 to 20 miles an hour, gusting up to 30 miles an hour at times. Tonight, calmer winds, temperatures in the low 30s, and partly cloudy. Going to be a cold one. Might see some frosty conditions develop, although we don't have those perfectly clear conditions for that. 56 for Thursday, 50 for Friday, chilly for Halloween, and then gaining an hour back, gaining some warmth back, temperatures back to the upper 50s and low 60s. Once we head through Sunday and onwards, a warmer 9-on-9 forecast as we head into the month of November, Avia.
Now let's take a look at this morning's top stories.
What you need to know before you go.
Today is set to be the first meeting of a new task force in South Dakota, centered around the planned men's state prison. The new prison will eventually be constructed in Sioux Falls, but conversations about how to prepare inmates for life after their time behind bars are getting started today. The new Correctional Rehabilitation Task Force is chaired by South Dakota Lieutenant Governor Tony Van Huysen. He says today's first meeting will focus on identifying where the situation stands now.
What programs do we offer now? What are the skilled technical trades that are being offered? What education programs? drug and alcohol rehab and so forth. Before you can talk about where you want to be or how you want to change, you need to understand where you're starting from.
Van Huysen says he hopes the task force's work will start leading to change in the near future.
My long-term goal is that we can agree on programming changes, certainly for the new penitentiary once it opens, but also in the short term to just get better results. It's better for society if people who get out of the penitentiary go lead productive lives.
The Correctional Rehabilitation Task Force was started by an executive order from South Dakota Governor Larry Roden.
And with Election Day coming up in less than a week now, Siouxland schools with bonds on the ballots continue to reach out to voters. In Stanton, Nebraska, the community school district is asking voters to support a $28.2 million bond for the construction of a new pre-K through 6 elementary school. The new building would also include an 800-seat gymnasium, a daycare area, and a kitchen that would serve all grades pre-K through 12. The district is hosting an information session at the current elementary school this evening with a tour of the facility getting started at 5:30 p.m.
And back in the metro, a new partnership between the city of Sioux City and the Sioux City Community School District will bring additional housing options for local residents. This week, the City Council agreed to buy 8 ranch-style homes built by students in the district's Trades Pathway program. The city will pay a price equal to the cost of materials and preparing the sites. Once complete, the homes will be moved to city-owned lots. Then they'll go up on the market at a fair price with additional city assistance available for potential buyers.
Yep, so we will resell the homes based on their appraised value, and then our funding source makes up the difference to make it affordable for someone to purchase. So we provide funding in the form of closing costs and down payment assistance.
The city plans to take possession of the first home next August. 7 additional homes are expected to be ready between December of 2026 and the end of 2029. And one last look on that forecast. Might not be the worst weather for some construction projects. Granted, maybe a little cold.
Yeah, a little chilly, a little windy out there, but again, not too terribly bad. Low 50s for the day. You're going to feel a bit colder in that with gusts to 30 miles an hour. But the good news, we do see those winds wind down tonight. 32 degrees for low temperatures. Should still see those wind chills, though, unfortunately, back into the upper 20s and low 30s. We see 56 for our Thursday. Clearing conditions, some partial clearing, mix of sun and clouds for our Thursday, and again for Halloween, temperatures dropping off into the upper 40s and low 50s both Friday and Saturday, and then we see temperatures back to the mid 50s as we fall back an hour Sunday morning. Temperatures going to be on the rise through the week next week after that, so a mild start to November.
Yeah, that temp for Halloween looking a little spooky.
Absolutely, definitely need those jackets.
For
sure will.